You're watching the Sporting Time Show with host Doug Thompson. Sponsored by Jewelry Barn and Pawn Shop.
Good evening and welcome to the Sporting Time Show. I am Doug Thompson, and of course, as always, Taryn Johnson to my right. Taryn, we made it. Let's go.
Let's go, baby. Yes, sir.
2020 in the books for high school athletics. Whew, what a year.
Yeah, Doug, it seems crazy to look back like a year ago right now. There was so much uncertainty. We didn't know what high school athletics would look like if we were able to have them at all. But, you know, looking back over the past year, man, kudos to the players, the coaches, parents, everybody involved, the officials for pulling this off. And it's great. It was a fantastic athletic year in high school sports.
It could have gone so bad, right? It could have,
yeah.
Decisions could have been made that would have prevented fall sports. Could have had basketball players wearing masks while they're on the court. Some states did that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could have been so bad.
Yeah.
But you can't go back and second guess it, right? I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
you can't.
yeah.
And you know, it was serious. It was, if you got it, and we know a lot of people that did get COVID.
Absolutely.
Some fared better than others.
Yeah.
Some ages were different. But man, it was so good to see high school softball and baseball this year, right?
Yeah, yes, sir.
And
Absolutely.
even with the reduced capacity, it was still great to have spring sports that we missed out last year.
Oh, without a doubt, dog. And you know, getting to see boys and girls basketball compete in the state tournament. You know, last year obviously it got snatched away right. COVID happened and everything got shut down right before the state tournament started.
Yeah.
You know, so getting to see that play out, but especially high school baseball, high school softball. You know, and I think that our local area, the fans showed out. They came out and supported these teams every single game, and it was awesome to see. But just across the board, in retrospect, you know, it was a phenomenal year, and you know, very proud of everybody in the region for being able to pull this off, and everybody in the state too. You know, because it was a very successful athletic year, from what I would say.
With everything that was going on, and I've always believed in the Sporting Times, kind of, you know, the fact of what high school sports does, right? You know, obviously camaraderie, teamwork, and all that other stuff that goes with it. But especially today, in today's environment, I think high school sports is so important.
Yeah.
I mean, it gives people an opportunity to, you know, go to an event, cheer their son or daughter or their friends on, and it's just a great escape. And it's more important than ever.
Absolutely.
And I think, like you said earlier, the coaches have done a great job. But you know, you and I, we've got some postseason awards that we want to acknowledge on this show. Let's start off with softball, and I'll let you tee this one up.
Yeah, so Warren East has a first-team all-two-way. Lucy Patterson, Emma Markham, honorable mention, junior Emma Young. Obviously, Lucy Patterson, senior, but those last two are juniors, Doug. So you know Warren East will be back and ready to roll next year.
Yeah, and Lucy Patterson, you know, if there was a student athlete of the year, I mean, Lucy Patterson would have to be up there because she's just an incredible student athlete, amazing. South Warren first team 3A, of course, senior Emily Reynolds. Man, she had such a great season. Junior Caroline Pitcock, she'll be coming back. And then Greenwood's Allison Bush was second team. Congratulations to her. She's headed to Campbellsville University to play some Mid-South Conference
Man,
softball.
Going back to South Warren, though, man, what a fantastic season. Obviously it ends, you know, not the way that they wanted it to.
You
but
think so?
Yeah, I know that goes without being said, but still a fantastic season. And two-way track and field, Caroline Forrester from Warren East placed 7th in the shot put. That's props to her. That's phenomenal.
That's amazing.
That's phenomenal.
I mean, it's such a, you know, it's so tough. You know, and there were a lot of student athletes out of the 4th region that did well at the state track and field event, but man, shot put, she did fantastic. Top 10, that's great. You and I are, when we come back after our interview with William Howard, we're going to talk a little bit more about the South Warren softball team in Warren East. I'm going to make reference and see if you can guess what I'm talking about. And also, we want to talk about the All-State Baseball Awards, as some of the local athletes here fared very well in that as well.
Yeah.
But as I mentioned before, we kick off 55 days before high school football officially. First game kickoff, we kick it off ourselves today. Taryn and I, our first interview was with William Howard, the head coach of Greenwood Gators, and man, you won't believe where he's at today. We're going to have a lot of fun. We're going to take a short break. We're going to come right back with William Howard. Stay tuned. Welcome back. Well, what better way to kick off our 55 days to football kickoff than bringing on William Howard, the head coach of the Greenwood Gators, as he is live from the Gridiron doing a camp. Coach, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
You know, this is fantastic. I mean, this is about as real as you get. You're on the Gridiron. We're in June, and you've got some football going on. Tell me a little bit about the camp.
Yeah, we have a camp in the summer. We used to have one every summer, and then last summer it kind of got set back a little bit for COVID. But we have first through sixth graders that come in. We have our players that work the camp.
Yeah, and before we went on, I asked you how many kids you had on the camp. You said around 100, which is a huge number. Has it grown?
We typically had around 60 kids at camp, and we're up to 100 this time. So that's been fantastic. And, you know, we've kind of got them divided up by positions, and it was pretty cool because I was asking them what position they played when they come in. And they were like, Coach, I've never played before. I have no ideas. And this was like 4th and 5th grade kids. So, you know, that was pretty neat to see kids that were showing some interest in football, and hopefully some of the things we're doing around here sparking a little interest, and we get some more kids involved.
Yeah, that's a great sign. And I know that when I played youth football, I wanted to be a running back. I mean, when they asked all of us back then, everybody wanted to be a running back, and they tossed me the ball and I dropped it, so I ended up being a lineman. So how do you break the news to the kids that you know, everybody wants to be a running back or quarterback, and you say, I think you're going to be an offensive guard?
Well, you know, at this camp, we don't break the news to them. They can do whatever they want to do. So if they say they want to be a quarterback, we give them a ball and let them throw it around. But, you know, that comes a little later in life, I guess, or whenever you get pads on, when you find out your limitations. I guess we've all been through that.
Yeah, I wish I would have gone to your camp. I mean, I think I would have had a much better time. But so take me through kind of what the kids are learning. Are they learning the X's and O's, just the basic, the skills? And take me through what the kids are learning.
Well, the interesting thing about this camp was with the players actually running it. I think our players learn more than the kids do because, you know, they have to learn how to organize drills and how to get things set up. And, you know, you got me out here kind of getting on them a little bit when we got too many kids in a group, and a lot of them are standing around. So, you know, it's great for our kids and our program to learn how to give back to the youth. And basically, we just work on fundamentals. I think, let's say we got a little drill going on here where they're throwing the ball to a kid and another kid's breaking down and tackling. Little two-hand touch game going on, so they're learning how to decrease angles and different things like that, even though we don't go through that terminology, I guess. But right. They're just learning fundamentals of football.
Yeah, and I would imagine the fact that those younger kids get to interact with high school athletes, it's amazing how much the young kids look up to these high school athletes. So I would imagine that your players get as much out of this as the younger kids do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, and you don't really realize the impact you have on younger kids, I don't think, at that age. But then when you get older like us, you sit back and you look and remember when you were young, the people that you looked up to, and these kids do the same thing. I mean, they're high-fiving each other, they're running around, jumping and chest bumping each other, and I think the kids really enjoy that.
Yeah, and, you know, it introduces them to Gator football, and obviously, you and I have talked about this before, feeder programs are so important to, you know, get kids engaged and to help build your own program at the high school level.
Oh, absolutely. You know, we started the G League a couple years ago, and I think it's been phenomenal for our community. They get to come out here and sit in our stands and watch our kids in our feeder programs play against each other and then play against other surrounding areas. And, it's been a great thing. And I think that's one of the reasons our numbers have increased from our camp from 60 to 100 is because of that.
That's a huge jump. And Coach, we got about 15 seconds left in this segment. I'm going to ask you a quick question about fans for Friday night football. Is it going to be 100%?
I certainly hope so. They don't let me make that determination, but I hope that we're back to normal, and it seems like we're getting to a little normalcy, in the world that we live in. So I'm hoping by next fall everything's kind of died away, and then we open up with a Gator Bowl, and we got 4 teams that'll be here, and,
Coach,
we want the stands to be packed.
Hold that thought. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, I want to talk to you about the Gator Bowl. Stay tuned. More of the Sporting Times right here on WNKY NBC 40. Welcome back. William Howard is with us. What a way to kick it off. I mean, we are about to see the trash can ball game, I guess, bowl ball. Coach, this is exciting. What's going on here?
Well, we got all the teams kind of divided up equally, and we're playing a game called trash can ball. It's kind of like ultimate football, except you got to throw it down the field and try to get it in the trash can, and whoever gets 5 first is the winner.
So what consists of the team? How many do you have? Like 2 guys, or which one is? How's it work?
Now, see, we have a team probably about 25 to 30 kids.
Okay.
So you can either play offense or defense. So if you knock the other team's ball down, then they have to start back over. And if you catch your ball, you get to throw it on down the field and try to get it in the trash can.
So is it timed? Is it a timed? You get so many minutes to get it in the trash can?
First to 5. Got to get 5 goals to win.
That sounds like fun. I see all those kids in the background. I got to ask you, we've got 55 days, Coach, from the first kickoff. I know you talked about the Gator Bowl. Tell me who's going to be in the Gator Bowl as it is right now. Which teams?
Well, we're going to open it up playing Spring Hill, Tennessee. And then after our game, Bardstown is going to play Franklin Simpson.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Last year, Coach, 5-0 start, 6-3 overall record. Unfortunate, Morrison gets hurt towards the end of the season, but and I know you graduated some real skilled players, but you also got a bunch of guys coming back. Kind of talk about the guys that are coming back this year, and one of them, Lofton Howard, your son, had a fantastic season last year. Telltale Long is coming back. You've got plenty of weapons coming back, but and I know they're in the weight room now, but how excited are you to get started and see what you have to work with?
Well, I'm very excited. I hope I didn't miss some of that because I think somebody just scored a goal and kind of got loud behind me. But, we've got a good group of they're going to be sophomores. And a lot of people ask me how we're going to be this year, and we're going to be dependent on those. And, you mentioned Tail. Tail was a kid as a freshman that got a lot of reps.
Yeah.
So we kind of know what we've got there. But, some of these other sophomores were playing freshman and JV, but they're extremely talented. I think somebody scored another one there. Got excitement going on around here. So, we're going to depend on those kids a lot, and that's kind of the unknown. Last year I think we kind of knew what we had with the senior-laden team, and one reason we got off to a good start is because those kids had been in the program and they kind of knew what was coming, what was happening. And with the short turnaround that we had from practice to season, then they were kind of ahead of the game a little bit. And this year is going to be a little bit different because we'll have some young kids, but we've got a little extra time compared to last year.
Yeah, and Coach, one of the things that stood out last year was the size of your team. I mean, you have some really big guys. One of them graduated, Jonathan Gornick. Kind of talk about, the size of the O-line and the defensive line coming back.
Well, sorry, I had to get a little closer there because somebody else scored. But, most of our offensive linemen are returning. Most of our defensive linemen are leaving. So, our offensive line should be one of our staples in our program this year because we're going to be dependent on those guys to kind of lead us. Unlike last year, that was kind of the unknown because a lot of those kids were sophomores and juniors that hadn't played a whole lot. So, on the defensive side of the ball, we're going to have to regroup a little bit and looking for some young kids to take some spots and hopefully get us to the next level.
Coach, we've got about 45 seconds left. Do you platoon with your team, or will you play guys both ways this year?
Well, we try to as much as we can. We really don't have the depth yet, as far as our breakdown goes, and our senior class, I think we've got like 11 kids. And then in our freshman and sophomore class, we've got 30 plus. So, this year we're probably going to have several kids that's going to play both ways, at least in limited roles. That's what we try to do. If we have a defensive starter that's an excellent player, we try to put a package or two in for them so they can get some offensive reps, offensive snaps during the game. But, it's hard to play 5A football when you're playing every down, especially in the district we play in.
No question. Coach, thank you very much. What a great way to kick off the season, interviewing you and watching the kids at the camp. Thank you very much for your time, and we will talk to you soon. Thank you, Coach.
All right, thank you.
All right, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, Taryn and I wrap things up right here on WNKY NBC 40. Welcome back to the show, Taryn. William Howard, that was a fun interview on the field with 100 kids from first grade to sixth grade, right? I mean,
that's authentic right there. You can't fake that, Doug. You cannot fake that. It was awesome.
And during the break, he was organizing and whistling and yelling at his players, hey, get the kids together. We're going to do a trash can bowl or whatever, but the first one that scores 5 footballs through passing wins, right? And the kids, they're just having a great time.
Man, awesome.
Right?
So awesome. Trash can ball, you hear that name, it's like, what the heck is that? But that takes me back to my youth. We just created games out of thin air.
Yeah.
That's awesome. It's great.
It is fun, and it's fun for the kids. What a great camp. But to go from 60 kids in 2019 to 100.
Yeah. You love to see it.
They want to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
They want to play.
Absolutely.
So anyway, before we went, in our first segment, we were talking about Warren East, South Warren. We talked about the All-State. We'll get to baseball in a second. South Warren ranked number 1 in the state. They were 35-1 going into the championship game against Warren East. They had already defeated Warren East 3 times during the regular season. But they weren't, it was a 1-0, 5-2, and then the third game, 11-1. I don't know what happened there. But South Warren wins all 3 of those. So I don't think anybody could have gone into the 4th region championship knowing the history between those 2 schools that Warren East could not win that game.
Yeah, because, Warren East had been neck and neck right there with South Warren previously, as you just mentioned. But man, Doug, before the postseason started in baseball and softball, we were talking about how just fantastic playoffs are. The fact that, one player, a pitcher, can control the outcome of the game. And that's what we love about baseball and softball postseason. And this is a prime example of that right here in the Region 4 Championship.
So what I wanted to mention to you, in the 14th district, South Warren wins 11-1. I can't keep a straight face. It's almost like Philip McKinney did the old rope-a-dope.
Oh, okay.
Right? Now, does that? Maybe not many people will pick up on that, but
of course.
Not that, but
Tyson and Buster Douglas?
No, Ali.
Dude.
Right,
yikes.
I think it was the rope-a-dope.
I know what the rope-a-dope is.
You know what the rope-a-dope is.
We're going to cut that. We're going to cut that, folks.
Cut. So anyway, congratulations.
You're right, though. That's a great reference.
But I know they didn't do that. But congratulations to South Warren and Coach
absolutely.
Reynolds. What a great season. And to Philip McKinney, and his girls at Warney's. Again, anybody that knows the history of those two teams throughout the regular season, forget about it.
100%.
Yeah, it was a great.
100%.
Yeah, it was great. Let's get on to some baseball.
Yes, sir.
All-state awards, and Bowling Green's Eli Burwash was All-State first team, and Russell County's Nathan Lawson was also first team. He's only a junior. He'll be back. Little surprised at the second team that they're not on the first team,
Yeah.
but go ahead and read those off.
Yeah, so the second team, Doug, features Purple's juniors Patrick Forbes and Carson Myers, which we both have discussed, before even the show aired. Like, surprised not to see those guys on the first team, to be completely honest.
Carson Myers moves on. He graduated. But Patrick Forbes, every time he got to the plate, he would either hit a double or a triple. I think he led the team in both of those. And Carson Myers had a .75 ERA.
Yeah, man, that's just...
And he was one of the top hitters on the team. Doesn't matter. I mean, second team, congratulations.
Yeah, for sure.
But, man, what a great honor for the Purples.
Absolutely.
And for Russell County's Nathan Lawson, so congratulations to them. Obviously, Bowling Green, very disappointed in the semi-state, but it's a game, right?
I mean, that's how it goes, Doug. That's what we love about the sport of baseball and softball specifically. It's like you can dominate for 6 innings. Bowling Green was up 4-0 heading into the 6th frame. And just like that, you always got to be on, and you can never take it easy, even if you have a cushion. Bowling Green wins that game 98 out of 100 times, but it's just like...
And they could have done some serious damage at state. I mean, they really could.
Oh, absolutely.
But anyway, congratulations to all the schools, all the programs, all the student athletes. What a great effort in 2020. Real quick, 55 days to high school football kickoff. Sporting Times and WNKY, man, we are teaming up, and we're going to bring you some great coverage. In addition, ST Live Stream, 4 platforms, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, ST Fan Club, and Facebook Live. You can get one of those. Join Taryn and I as we bring you all the football action for the next 55 days. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great week. For Taryn Johnson, Doug Thompson, take care.